Sonic the Hedgehog is normally a character who goes really fast, so here's a game where Sonic the Hedgehog doesn't run really fast.
I used to love the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. It was my favourite game series growing up, with some great games such as Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, the original trilogy, Sonic Hero, Sonic Generations, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Color, Sonic Rush. That's about it for the good ones. But let me take you back to 2005 through the eyes of a young Sonic fan. I hear about this new Sonic racing game coming out that, unlike previous attempts, actually looks really fast paced and energetic. I mean, who's that guy? Is that Bean? Is that Speedy? Anyone remember him? Did anyone play that one? No? Well, I'm sure this guy's just as cool.
Huh.
At any rate, I was still excited, and then came the day in 2006, after my weekly judo session.
What the hell was I thinking?
I got home to find Sonic Riders.
Now, I actually have some good memories with this game, but that was back when I was a biased Sonic fanboy, didn't know any better. So as a much more rational person now, comparatively, let's take an up-to-date, honest look at Sonic Riders. I gotta love the 15th anniversary logo on here. Just to remind you that Sonic's 15th anniversary consisted of this and this.
Now, what was that Sonic once said?
Hey Sonic! Enjoy your future! It's gonna be great!
To put it simply, Sonic Riders is a Sonic-based racing game just like Sonic R, but you know, without the "Can you feel the sunshine?" Instead of running on foot though, Sonic Riders has the characters make use of hoverboards that they call Extreme Gear.
Extreme.
I'll admit the hoverboards make this a much more unique racing game, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Unique can mean anything from Shadow of the Colossus to Mr. Mosquito. So good. In an effort to tie in the board mechanic, you can charge up the jump and perform tricks in the air. Just like being back in school, you're graded on your tricks. These range from X to C. Ecstasy.
So gameplay wise, it does set itself apart from other racing games, but this is a Sonic game we're dealing with, so let's look at the story.
Our story begins with Sonic, Tails and Knuckles chasing a signal,
which I don't think is expanded upon ever again.
And right off the bat I can say that the GameCube FMV cutscenes, they look gorgeous. I mean sure, Sonic's proportions are off, like really off, but the lighting and models look pretty good. The gang is intercepted by a team of thieves, and so Sonic, being the fastest thing alive, gives chase, using a device he's never touched before instead of running.
You're supposed to be the fastest thing alive?
And so we move on to oh Jesus Christ! What happened to the graphics? You can't just follow up an FMV with this. Eggman's moustache is the most animated thing in this game.
I call it the X World Grand Prix, a tournament to see who's the best of the best with extreme gear.
And so that's the plot. Eggman has set up the World Grand Prix.
X World Grand Prix.
X? That sounds familiar.
Expert.
Also, wouldn't they know better than to trust anyone that opens an event with an evil laugh? Or a Muppet laugh. So they fall for Eggman's ploy. And slowly but surely they encounter the thieves known as the Babylon Rogues. First we have Wave. As we're exposed to more playable characters, I should bring up the use of character types. There are 3 types: Speed, Flight and Power, all of which have access to different shortcuts based around their abilities. Also, this first race as Tails introduces us to Mario Party controls. You know the ones. The ones that make you plunge your palms into the joystick and grind it around while you scream in agony. And it's at this point I noticed just how weird the facial animations are. Also, Knuckles does this and it's really creepy.
Back, demon! Back!
Knuckles then encounters the muscle of the team, Storm.
The track then! We'll settle this there! Looking forward to it!
Oh, there's something really unsettling about that shot. Ugh, stop!
But it's time for Sonic to meet up with the Rogues' leader, Jet, who, again, is totally not Bean or Speedy.
I've checked you out, actually. Not bad. I admit you're pretty fast on your feet.
Okay, so at this point I need to interject about Jet's voice. Yes, that is the voice of Sonic, Jason Griffith, but the voice itself is just such a bizarre choice.
Yeah, That's when I took over things for my father!
It sounds like what Gilbert Gottfried probably sounded like during puberty.
Father!
Well, this course isn't so bad. Oh my god, giant bugs, why the hell is no one alarmed by this? Also, this happened. I guess there are items in this game, but I barely noticed outside of this freak incident.
Now our race has reached its final stage.
That was fast even by Sonic standards.
The rules are still the same. Anything goes in this extreme race.
Even murder.
You know, when I started recording footage for this review, I thought I enjoyed this level, however... yeah. Then again, what did I expect from a course that uses its racers as live arrows? And here we go! Almost won! And...
well, that was sloppy. Okay, Eggman wasn't kidding.
with victory now his, Jet proceeds to use the Tesseract from the Avengers.
Oh, it's beautiful.
This is Babylon Garden.
Hanging Gardens of Babylon?
Now I'll get the treasure of Babylon!
So the gang chased after him. Oh, for God's sake, Sega, I get that you love the FMVs, so do I, but when you keep cutting between them and in-game cutscenes, the change is really jarring.
It's like a mobility scooter.
You can't catch up with him! Get out of my way! Is that what you think? Take a look at this! I'll show you what true speed really is!
By not running, Sonic and Jet had their final race through Babylon Garden. It's actually a pretty fun course. Maybe because it's in the clouds, it makes for a nice variety and location with multiple paths to take depending on which character type you use. All except this bend. Yeah, let me just...
Even without wings, I can still fly! Right?
No!
After beating Jet, Sonic finally confronts Eggman, who holds Amy as hostage with the Tesseract. So what's the natural thing to do?
Can you catch the wind?
I can try. Got it! Got it, you son of a bitch! And that's the hero story. It ends with this.
How could you dive into Eggman knowing I was there?
Well, Amy, I thought it'd be okay with you, and,
Sonic! Come back here! Ah!
That's you, game. This high up.
There is still much more though as we unlock the Babylon Rogue story. Actually, one of the things I've really missed from Sonic games is the different perspectives. It's nice to see what other characters are doing at different times. For example, in this very game, yeah, you know the beautiful FMV that started this game off? Yeah, that's the Rogue's first level. You see, I actually like that sort of thing. Speaking of which, their story opens with a rude awakening.
Hey, boss!
Oh god, Storm's face is terrifying. The Rogues are confronted by Eggman, who proposes that they collaborate in gathering the Chaos Emeralds. So, slowly but surely, we see the story pan out the same way as before, but with a few minor alterations, such as Amy racing Wave. Also, this happens.
I didn't edit that. That's actually in the game.
So we approach the final race from a different angle. This course does fare a bit better than the Heroes version though. There's less crashing and it's more straightforward. Granted, I could just suck, but let's not get into that.
Also, remember how the Babylon Garden rose in the hero's story? It was this grand and beautiful FMV cutscene.
A mysterious airborne object has just appeared above the site where the X-World Grand Prix is being held.
So while Sonic and Jet chase Eggman, everyone else is left to be chased by robots, led by the one that Storm beat up all the way back in the race's Knuckles. So with that in mind, I have to question why not coming first here is considered a bad thing, since we're all equally trying not to die. So unlike the hero story, we actually get to see the rogues open the door to the treasure after the race. They are stopped by the Guardian, who is basically a glorified genie. Which brings us to the final battle, where we play as Sonic.
Well, so much for picking the Babylon Rogues.
Being the only boss in the game, it's simple. Just boost into his lamp jar thingy-mabob 3 times and you're done. He looks way too happy to die.
Too awestruck by the treasure to notice me, eh?
Jesus, Eggman's packing heat! Go get him!
So we learn the treasure is a magic carpet. You better beat the carpet or else there'll be more dust collected than the Connect.
Jesus.
Stolen, the 13th leader of the Babylon Rogues.
Stolen? His name was Stolen. His name was Stolen. Well, better go look for it then.
And here, right before your very eyes, you'll see the quickest mind change that I've ever witnessed.
Undoubtedly, this carpet will be in high demand from all around the world. But what's this? No way. I went to the trouble of holding the World Grand Prix for this? I can't believe I just wasted my time for this piece of junk.
One last FMV.
You beat these bastards for now, but I'll be back, Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'll be back with more sequels. One that's better, but one that'll totally suck balls.
And that's Sonic Riders. It's certainly silly, but as far as Sonic games go in the late 2000s, you could do far worse. And the hoverboards make it a much more unique racing game. The controls are fine, the music's okay, and you know what? I think the game makers knew it was silly as well. I mean, why else do we end up with a story that features an evil genie who's betrayed by an annoying squawking bird and an evil fat man with facial hair who all have it in for a cocky freerunner? Wait a minute. That's the plot of Return of Jafar. Yeah, the Guardian is Jafar, Jet's Iago with that voice, and Eggman's Abysmal, which leaves Sonic as Aladdin. And since you can even use a magic carpet in the desert... What the fuck?
Hello and thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you liked what you saw and want to see more from me, then go ahead and click the subscribe button so you can be the first to see when I upload a new video. Also, why not leave a like on this video if you liked it, or follow me on Twitter, which you can find a link to in the description below. Lastly, you can check out my previous videos on Super Monkey Ball and Godzilla, both for the GameCube, by clicking in the middle. Well, that's about all from me, I reckon. Ta-ta!